Today is August 2nd. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClavesOnline.com, brought to you by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, it's been a few days since we last talked. Cardinals yesterday lose a heartbreaker in the first of four against the Cubs. Offensively, you get home runs from Mason, a huge home run from Mason Wynn, a home run from Paul Goldschmidt. You get production, you get great starting pitching, but just unable to close it out at the end with your all-star closer, Ryan Helsley.
And as the great Ron Washington once said, that's how baseball go. Did everything right, but your closer wasn't at the top of his game. If he's still not the best closer in the game, he's in that top five without argument. Wouldn't you agree?
I would think so. Yeah, absolutely. This year, yes.
Yeah, and the way I evaluate it, and I'm not saying everybody should do evaluate however you want, but I just go by blown saves and losses. Mm-hmm. And those numbers for him are very, very low. When you see it this time of the year for guys with 7 or 8, 9 plus blown saves and 4, 5, 6 losses, that's the guy that's struggling a little bit. If you can keep those two numbers in single digits by the end of the year, you've had a pretty good season as a closer.
Absolutely. So they will reset and they will try to do it again today. Yeah, it's a 1:20 start time. It's the Friday afternoon game at Wrigley. Javier Assad pitching for the Cubs, and it is our first look at Erick Fedde, the big acquisition at the trade deadline for the Cardinals. We have already seen their one other trade deadline acquisition, Tommy Pham, come through with a huge slam. Yeah, moment of the year right now for the Cardinals, hitting a grand slam in his first at bat back in St. Louis. Just a great moment there. So we will see Erick Fedde on the mound tonight. He is 7-4 with a 3.11 ERA and 108 strikeouts. That was with the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, to be able to be successful in a bad team, even if you're a good pitcher, it's hard to do it. You get very little support offensively, defensively. You got to do it all on your own. And oftentimes you'll see a good pitcher have a bad year on a bad team. They put too much pressure on themselves. Fedde's been through a lot in his career. Very mediocre beginning to his big league career. I mean, he's a big leaguer, a regular starter, but the results were meh. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Then he goes to Korea, kind of has a rebirth, develops that sweeper. I think today was either today or yesterday, John Denton had a nice piece on it. I think it was Denton. Anyway, the point is, when you look at his first 5-6 years ago, why do I like this guy? Because he's changed who he is. His sweeper has added to his repertoire. Now, I don't know if he's going to go stymie the Cubs today, or they may blow him up. Everybody knows how Wrigley Field is, but I think this is an opportunity to keep the ball club energized, getting a good start from him today.
The Cardinals the other day, and remember, like I said, it's been a few days since we last talked. On Wednesday, got a really nice start from rookie and former
unbelievable
pick Michael McGreevy. Makes his major league debut, goes 7 innings, allows 1 run against the Rangers to win the series against Texas. And right after that, I was a little surprised, option back down to AAA, especially with the Lance Lynn injury right now. So, he's not there for 2 weeks. I do wonder if we are going to see what if maybe another injury or what we might see over the next 10 days to maybe get McGreevy another start with the Cardinals, because he definitely earned it.
My guess is what we're looking at is because he would be a starter, you don't need him for a little bit. And then when he's available to come back, what's your situation? You still have Palante. So it tells me they want to go with the known quantity, Palante, for the near future, because you've always got McGreevy, to bring him up. Here's the other thing. He was really, really good, but he's a ground ball pitcher. And does that mean he's a pitch to contact guy?
Mm-hmm.
And does that mean that by philosophy, the organization doesn't love him? I think these are all open questions.
Yeah, just for those wondering, so if a player is optioned down to the minor leagues, pitchers have to stay there a minimum of 15 days unless
15. I thought it was 10. Yeah.
Position players are 10. Everybody else is 15. That was the rule they kind of made when they changed the injured list rule too, where position players are 10 and it's a 15-day IL for the for pitchers. So it's 15 days unless there is a doubleheader or it's replacing a player who has been injured. So then there is no minimum number of days for which that player is optioned.
Well, and so so we throw the rule out because of Lynn, right?
No, because Lynn's already happened. Lynn's already been injured. So if it was
I see, because it's
yes,
after. Yeah.
yes. So it would have to be another pitcher or another player that would be that would have an injury, and you would put them on the 10-day or 15-day IL to call up McGreevy in that situation. So that would
let's
be
hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, or if it's a case of fatigue, I think we're at that point in the season where you do see injuries like that. I mean, Lance Lynn goes out and pitches a really good game on Tuesday before he gets thrown on the injured list the other day, and it's a good time for Lance Lynn to be injured at this point in the season with 2 weeks off right after the All-Star break. Rest that arm a little more for the stretch run.
Yeah, you'd rather have it now than in the heat of the pennant drive or division drive, if you will, at the end of September. Yeah, you're right.
Cardinals are in the midst of a 16 games in a row right now. Their next day off is Sunday the 11th. Remember, that's a weird one where they play 2 against the Royals on the 9th and the 10th, and then off on the 11th, and then off again on the 15th, then off again on the 19th. So they have a lot of off days clumped together there in the span of 8 days. 3 off days in the span of 8 days coming up here in the month of August.
So in this 2-week span with no days off, I think it probably doesn't need to be said. If it is going to be said, don't worry, Tommy Pham will step up. It's time to grind. It's time to put on the big boy pants. I'm tired is not an excuse now. Oh, I'm a little ouchy. No, get your ass out there and play, and not only play, but perform. That's what you're getting paid to do. I'm sure if it would come up, that would be a Tommy Pham message. And I say that with the utmost respect for him, not just because he's hot coming back, but because that's the kind of ball player, kind of winning ball player that he is. Adam Wainwright addressed that in a comment. What was it, on Twitter the other day? Kind of basically saying the same thing. And so, but when I'm tired. Well, look, you get 3 days off, and what was it, 8 days, Joe?
8 days, yeah. From the 11th to the 19th, you have 3 off days.
So, hey, rest then.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the dog days of August are usually the time when contenders kind of survive and losers fall off. So having those days off in the dog days, that I think that's a huge advantage for the Cardinals.
Yeah. So this stretch right now, Cubs, you have the 1 game against the Mets on Monday, the makeup game, then Rays, Reds. This is right now going to determine whether or not the Cardinals are going to be contenders or not, because coming out of those days off that we talked about, you go Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Padres, Yankees, Brewers.
Yeah, it'll be time to strap it on.
Are
you real or not?
That is a rough 3-week stretch of baseball against really, really good teams.
I'm telling you this, though, with the addition of Pham, and most of the rest of the lineup is contributing now pretty consistently that we didn't see earlier. And for 3 months, really 3.5 months, we've been saying, boy, if Goldie could get back and just be his average Goldie. Doesn't have to be MVP Goldie, just average. And doesn't it look like that's
He's starting to heat up a little bit. He's starting.
I'd say more than a little.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to see it out of him, and that is reflected in today's lineup. The Cardinals will go with Mason Wynn at short, Alec Burleson DHing, Wilson Contreras behind the plate, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Nolan Arenado at third, Lars Nootbaar in right, Tommy Pham in left, Brendan Donovan batting eighth and playing second, and Michael Ciani batting ninth in center field. So Brendan Donovan drops way down. Just a week ago, he was hitting cleanup.
Well, but it's not just the guy, it's all the other pieces around them. And how do you fit it together on a given day? What and then matchup numbers, of course. And the thing about Donovan is his batting average and some of his other numbers have slipped, but he's still hitting the ball well. And so it's a way to put a guy in a non-pressure spot. And I think it's a terrific lineup. I got no problem with it at all. I don't say that very often, do I?
No, you don't. And it's a very deep lineup when you look at the fact that you do have Brendan Donovan batting eighth. For the Cubs, Ian Happ is in left, Michael Busch at first, Seiya Suzuki in right, Cody Bellinger DHs. Isaac Paredes is at third, Nico Horner at second, Dansby Swanson at short, Pete Crow Armstrong in center, and Christian Bethancourt is behind the plate for the Cubs. 53 and 58 on the season. Cardinals right now 3 games over 500. They need another win today. Just keep piling up those wins and put yourself in a position to make a run at that wild card here in the final 2 months of the year.
Yeah, here in August, keep yourself in position to be in position. Survive August. Traditionally, that's what it's all about. If you can get red hot, great. But what you can't take is a long losing streak, or where you lose, you go 3-7 in a 10-day stretch. Keep yourself in a position to be in a position.
Cardinals and Cubs game starts here in about 40 minutes, and they will then go Saturday, or they'll play Saturday night, I believe. No, Saturday afternoon. Another 1:20 start tomorrow, and then Sunday night at Wrigley before heading back for the Monday game. And remember, that's just a 1-game Monday makeup at 3:15 start time against the Mets. So an odd start time and an odd 1-game just makeup day for Mets and Cardinals coming up on Monday for that. Haven't seen any pitching, what pitching would look like for that game yet either.
Man, I wish I was at Wrigley.
I tell you what, have you been to the Thursday afternoon? Have you done the Thursday afternoon game as a fan? Have you gone to that?
Yeah, I've done as a fan. Yeah. Yes. Well, and I don't remember. Oh, no, it was a Saturday that I was thinking of. One of the greatest games ever played in 1984. Cardinals Cubs, the Sandberg McGee game. Mm-hmm. That was I think I have been a weekday afternoon sitting in the bleachers.
You were there as a fan for the Sandberg game? First
row, upper deck, right on top, and Wrigley, right on top of third base where Art House started. It was a glorious day. The weather was perfect. God, it was what a great day that was.
That's awesome. I have been up there many times, either rooftop or in the stands for the Friday afternoon game, Cubs Cardinals Friday afternoon game. I try to get up there for one a year for that. But we talked about this. We talked about this a few months ago. I went up there for Paul Skeens' second start. Took Hudson up there for that. That was the Friday afternoon 1:20 game for that, and being able to do that was just great.
Well, I've been so fortunate in my career to be a backup Cardinals guy, for 5 years and getting to do games. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that a Friday day game the day of the night that Darryl Kyle died?
That was that no. Was that no, that was night? A weekend. Darryl Kyle. The suspended game was a Saturday or a Sunday, I believe.
I thought he died. I'm sure he died on Friday. That's not the point. The point is being up there through the good and the bad. I just think it's a beautiful place. They continue to renovate it. Wrigleyville is I remember going there in the 70s when it was pretty damn sketchy. Mm-hmm. And I had to pay a kid protection money for my car to be parked and not be destroyed. But it was an adventure, and I just think Wrigley's a really, really special place, and I've been lucky to go there a bunch of times, sitting in the seats, sitting in the press box, sitting in the rooftops. It's all just a marvelous experience, and I think you and I are in 100% agreement there.
Absolutely. Hey, that's going to do it for our show today, brought to you, as always, by our friends at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Rammer, also Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri. Hey, are you looking for a refi, maybe a new mortgage, perhaps a home equity credit line? Let the lending experts at Royal Banks of Missouri make sure you have the right product for your needs. Give them a call, 314-212-1500, or go online to royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you next week right here on Daily Cards Live.
Munganess St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX, so that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Munganess St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.